Hello everybody, Matthew Weeks again, coming to you from Great Dynamic Arc Center in Indonesia. As you can tell, very hot and tropical. So, Matthew Weeks, Vice President, Welding Solutions for Lincoln Electric, inventor of the HyperFill process. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through the different variations of the HyperFill solution. They're very distinct in what they do, and I want to give clarity to the three variations of what we have. First of all, here on my left, we have the PowerWave S500 and the S700. PowerWave is our most high-tech platform. It has all what I call all the bells and whistles for the HyperFill solutions. And I'll go through them one by one. Primarily, it was designed for the HyperFill GMA solution. That was the first solution that we invented in 2018. That's pulse MIG, for heavy fab, heavy weld mets, high deposition. So we have the S500 with the PF84 wire feeder, or the S700 with the PF84 wire feeder also, and the respective water coolers. Now when I say all the bells and whistles, I mean the S700 in particular can do HyperFill Rapid Arc. It can do HyperFill GMAW at very high wire feed speeds, the highest deposition. It can do HyperFill Flux-Cored, and it can do HyperFill Metal Core. The S500 has one other distinct advantage. It can do HyperFill GMAW, again for heavy fab and heavy weld mets, MIG. It can also do HyperFill STT for root runs in pipe. It can do HyperFill Flux-Cored and HyperFill Metal Core. So if you want to go HyperFill Rapid Arc, that again is back to your S700. Now, moving away from the PowerWave system to more a process piping system, we have here the Lincoln Electric PipeFab. This is more designed for piping, process piping contractors, basically anyone doing pipes or pipelines. You'll have a dual feeder where we can have HyperFill STT set up on one side, and a fill and cap system. You can have HyperFill Flux-Cored or HyperFill GMAW set up on the other side. So it makes it easy. You can set up a procedure on this side and a procedure on that side, and the guns will switch. We'll go through this in more detail when we focus down on each of these machines respective in the next episode or the next video. So this is primarily a process piping iteration or variation of the HyperFill process. Lastly, moving on to our third variation of HyperFill, we realized that the other two variations are quite high tech. They have everything. Pulse MIG, STT. We found there was a market gap for Flux-Cored only users. In shipyards, offshore oil and gas yards, bridge makers, structural steel, there's a lot of Flux-Cored only users. This machine is the Flextec Flux-Cored HyperFill system. Keep in mind though, it is a Flextec platform. Now the Flextec platform is a standard platform at Lincoln Electric. You can do your scratch arc TIG or lift arc TIG, gouging, or your single arc variations of Flux-Cored and MIG. No pulse. So we took that platform, which is a far, what would you say, more economical platform than the PowerWave platform, because we only want to do Flux-Cored HyperFill. We were looking for customers that would want to buy volumes or fleets of them without having to spend the extra money on unnecessary variations of high-tech HyperFill like Pulse MIG and STT where they didn't have any piping. So this is a very basic system, lower cost, focusing again on the Flux-Cored system. We will, on the next episode, go through this in depth of how to set the settings, of how to set it up. It's very basic. Welders that are doing Flux-Cored will pick it up very quickly. We made two variations of the Flextec. You'll see here, this is the Flextec 650X HF. The HF stands for HyperFill. So you got the 650 and the 500X HF. You would say, why the two when we're limited in amps and volts anyway with a welding process? Well, the 650 is an amazing gouging machine, air arc gouging. You want to air arc gouge and do heavy HyperFill welding, the 650 will do it very, very well. So in conclusion, there is very specific HyperFill machines or variations for very specific applications. And everyone is different. They all have different price points. And here at Great Dynamic in Indonesia, the sales team and the technical team are very ready to take you through each of these iterations in their fantastic WeldTech and weld your applications, measure, and show you the difference. Thank you.